happy and you know it. Living with dogs doesn't mean that your house has to smell like one too. If you are sick of the wet dog smell, hair, and slobber on every surface, and you are tired of using toxic cleaners to just mask the smell, you need to watch this. Today, I'm going to share 25 of my best cleaning tips that keep our house clean and smelling fresh, even with 4 dogs running around. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is open your windows. Today just so happens to be a beautiful spring day outside. So I'm going to open up every window and door in the house. But even in the wintertime, I will turn off the heat and open all of the windows just for like an hour, just to get all the stale air out of the house. My next tip is to get an air purifier like this one that has a HEPA filter. It really helps reduce the dander in the air and the smells. We have this one here in the kitchen that I switch between here and the family room. And we also have this one in our bedroom. Cleaning your air vents is one of those things that's easy to forget, but it really does help with dust and dander and your overall air quality. Now, I start by vacuuming them with a brush attachment. Then I wipe them down with a damp cloth. If they are really dirty, you can even remove them, the covers, and give them a good scrub in the sink. Now, I also change our furnace filters regularly and always choose high-rated filter that captures allergens. We recently upgraded to a new whole house air purifier system. It was a big investment. If that's not in your budget, I've heard great things about the small plug-in air ionizers. They're more affordable, fit right into a wall outlet, and help trap dust, dander, and pollen from the air. If you haven't had your air ducts cleaned in a while, that is also another great option to have a service come out and clean out all of that dust that has settled into your air ducts. Instead of masking odors with chemical sprays and plug-ins, I use a diffuser with dog-safe essential oils to freshen our air naturally. Just be careful though, because not all essential oils are safe for pets. Don't forget about your dog's food and water bowls. They can collect bacteria fast. I just pop mine into the dishwasher just to make sure that they get fully sterilized. If you feed raw or homemade meals, it's really important to wash bowls daily. But even if you feed kibble, I'd recommend washing every few days just to keep them all clean. And if you have a raised food station like ours, I always take out the bowls and really scrub here because you can see that dirt collects in here and can get really smelly. One of the easiest odor fighting tools I use are activated charcoal bags. They are completely natural, scent-free, and they are safe to use around my dogs. I tuck them near the dog beds, in our mudroom, and in our kitchen where smells like to build up. But to keep them working, you do need to reactivate them by placing them in direct sunlight like once a month for a few hours. Plants won't magically clean your whole house, but they can help reduce trace pollutants in the air. And of course, they look nice too. I've got a few of my favorites around the house, like a spider plant in my office. Now, studies have shown that certain plants can filter out indoor air toxins. Just be sure to double check which ones are pet safe before bringing them home, because not all of them are dog friendly. If you're like me and you want to avoid toxic chemicals around your dog, grab my free natural remedies guide. Every time your dog comes inside, wipe their paws off. I have to get better at this, I will admit, because with 4 dogs, trying to wipe their paws every time they come in is a hassle. But it's definitely worth it. I mean, if you think about how much dirt that their paws track in, it's pretty bad. So wipe all 4 paws, and I have a great DIY non-toxic paw wipe recipe that I make so that I can set it by the door anytime that I need to clean the dog's paws off. I also have these wonderful floor mats by the doors coming into the door that the dogs come in. And then I have another one before they get to the wood floor. It does not stop all of the tracks, but it definitely slows it down a little bit, grabs some of the dirt. If you have hardwood floors, you want to sweep every couple days, if not more, depending on how much your dog sheds. With 4 dogs, I could sweep every day and get a whole pile of dog hair. Once I am done sweeping, once a week, I will run the vacuum cleaner. And believe it or not, we have 2 vacuums. Dyson's our go-to brand. We have the Dyson stick, which is cordless. It just charges on the wall, so I can grab it and just run through the house really quick and pick up any dog hair I couldn't get with the sweeper. We also have the Dyson Animal. If I really want to get a deep clean, I will pull out the big vacuum cleaner. If I want something quick, I use the Animal stick. When you are vacuuming, make sure to get under the furniture. As you can see, dog hair collects under our couch. It kind of brings a whole new meaning to dust bunnies. If you have carpeting, I highly recommend baking soda for deodorizer. Do not use those toxic deodorizers you get in the grocery store or at the big box stores. Baking soda naturally neutralizes any smells. So I would test it first in a corner or somewhere you won't be able to see it, just to make sure it doesn't damage the color of your carpet. But I sprinkle it right over the carpeting, let it sit for a little bit, and then I will vacuum that up. If you want all of this in one easy place, I created a dog-safe cleaning guide that includes my favorite non-toxic cleaning recipes, printable checklist, and room-by-room routines, all designed for dog parents. You can grab it now in my Etsy shop or on RescueDogs101.store. Once I am done sweeping and vacuuming and I have all of the dog hair up, then I pull out my wet mop and I can put my own solution in here. So I use a vinegar, a water, and essential oil mixture that I know is safe for the dog's paws. I don't want to put any chemicals on my floors that the dogs are going to come in contact with and then lick their paws and then have chemicals in their system. So I will go around and mop the whole floor. You do not want to mess with potty accidents. If any smell remains, your dog is way more likely to go in the same spot again. That's why I always use a pet-specific enzyme cleaner. You could also use a 50-50 mix of vinegar and water as a natural alternative. Now, right now, I am using our Autobond Pet Oxy Stain Remover on this area rug. It works well for deeper, older stains too, and let's be honest, this rug could use some love. Now, after it dries, I will probably sprinkle on some baking soda too. It's actually been a really long time since we've had to deal with accidents, but back when we fostered 2 young puppies at the same time, I was using my little green machine daily. That thing became my best friend for spot cleaning. If you do have carpet in your home, I highly recommend steam cleaning them yearly. When we did have carpet, I had a carpet cleaner that I would spot clean every year, and then every few years I would hire a professional to come in to do a deep cleaning. Another thing that you want to do is make sure that any dog bed or anything that your dog lays on is washable. I wash them every couple months or so. Probably should do it more often, like every month. So I take the covers off. I will probably shake this out outside to get most of the dog hair off before I wash it. Now, for some of the dog beds that are really nasty, I will sprinkle on some baking soda. That way it kind of gets the main odors where the dog is laying. It really can soak up and neutralize those odors. I really like to use a non-toxic laundry detergent. I use Truly Free. I can leave you a link below. So I put a little bit in there, and then in the softener section, I use vinegar. I'm going to wash this in cold, and just to make sure that none of the colors bleed and none of the toys fall apart. Now, if you allow your dogs on your furniture, highly recommend getting a cover for your couch or wherever they like to lay. I never realized how dirty our couches actually got until using one of these covers. It gets disgusting. So I have 2 of these. I take one off, I shake it outside, and then I put the clean one on while I'm washing the original one. Another great idea, if you allow your dog to sleep on your bed, is to put an old sheet on top of your comforter, so that way you can wash this much easier than washing your comforter. Are you tired, Bear Bear? Are you sleepy? I vacuum the couch and chairs every week. This is where my Dyson Animal and the attachments make it so much easier to get into the creases and the corners and to pick up all of that hair. Now for quick touch-ups between vacuuming, I will use a lint roller. Okay, so walls, especially with 4 dogs, they get disgusting. This Autobahn has been a lifesaver. I first learned about it when we moved into a house that there was a smoker and the blinds stunk. So I researched it and found this stuff. Now I know it's technically not a natural remedy or homemade, but this is one thing that I do still have in my house. It's concentrated. So I pour it in a spray bottle like this, very tiny little bit, like that much, and the rest is water. So I spray my walls generously, and then I just take a old rag and I scrub. You don't see it until you get up close and down here on your hands and knees. So I will do this once every other month or so. I could probably do it every day, but I don't have time for that. Dog slobber and no smudges on the glass door are just part of life with dogs. Now, I usually start with my go-to natural mix, which is vinegar and water, rubbing alcohol, and a little bit of cornstarch. It works great for most of my cleaning, glass and mirrors. But this time, the slobber was so thick, I had to use something a little stronger. So I have this Full Circle Markets bathroom cleaner. It's a USDA certified product, and it's free from synthetic dyes and fragrances. So I know it's safer around my dogs. Honestly, I should probably clean this door more often. It's amazing how quickly those nose prints add up. Dog toys can get really gross. Between the slobber, dirt, and who knows what stuck to them, they definitely need a regular cleaning. I toss most of our soft toys in the washing machine on cold and usually wash them with the dog bedding. Now, if you're worried about a toy falling apart, hand washing with a little soap and warm water works well too. For hard toys, I soak them in a vinegar and water solution, especially if they have been outside or underneath the couch collecting dust. And for things like Kongs and Topples that hold food, they go straight into the dishwasher once the dogs are done. Okay, the next thing you want to do is clean your dog's collars, any leashes that you use, because they do get grimy, believe it or not. We even have these biothane ones, which are supposed to repel odors and stuff like that. So I am going to start with sprinkling a little bit of baking soda in there, and then some vinegar. I'm going to see that suds up. And then once that's done sudsing, I'm going to add water to it. And then I'm going to let these soak in here for a few hours just to get all that dirt. I forgot about the collars, so they were soaking overnight, which I think maybe was a good thing because look at all of that dirt. If your dog smells, then so will your house. Keeping up with regular grooming really does make a big difference, and brushing is the best place to start. I'm using these grooming gloves, which are perfect if your dog's not a fan of regular brushes. They feel more like a massage, and most dogs actually love it. I always try to brush outside when I can. That way, all of the loose fur stays out of the house and not floating around my living room. I clean our dog's ears maybe once a month with an ear cleaner. My favorite is Eco Ears. It helps keep infections and that funky ear smell away. And yep, I brush their teeth too. Keeping consistent on dogs' oral health will ward off that dreaded nasty doggy breath. Now, if brushing is a struggle, I've got you. I've made videos on the best dog toothpaste, DIY recipe, and also how to clean your dog's teeth, even if they hate brushing. The links are down below. How often you bathe your dog really depends on their coat, their skin condition, and how dirty they get. I usually aim for maybe once every couple months or sooner if they roll in something gross. We installed this dog washing station that makes bath time way easier. If you want to see how I set that up, I've got a whole video on it. I'll link that below too. If your dog smells even after grooming them, giving them a bath and brushing them out, all of that stuff, take them to the vet. Make sure that they're healthy and they don't have any allergies or infections or anything like that would cause them to have a strong odor. If you have done all of my cleaning tips and you still feel like your house smells like dog and your dog has gotten a clean bill of health, consider hiring a professional cleaning service and maybe even get a whole house ozone treatment done. You can also start replacing old dog beds, furniture, and curtains, anything porous that can trap smells in. What is your best cleaning hack? I am always looking for new ideas on how to keep my dogs and my home smelling fresh. Please leave a comment below. It could help others in our community that are struggling with a house that smells like dog too. I know, I wish we could wave a magic wand and have a sparkling clean house every day and there was no dog hair or slobber anywhere. But the fact is, living with dogs comes with all of that stuff, and cleaning does take a little bit of effort and elbow grease. But I hope these tips helped you and get you on your way to having a clean and fresh smelling house. And don't forget to grab your dog safe cleaning guide today. The link is below in the description. And we will see you in the next video.